Thank you so much, Pam and Lydia. It was wonderful, and there absolutely is no cheating in collaboration. There's no wrong way, as hopefully you're about to witness. So I'd like to introduce first Colin and Ross.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for having us on a lovely day today. It's wonderful. So we're going to do a truncated version of our collaboration together. I don't know whether it was the title Auld Enemies, but kind of looking for something that remedies all kind of like negativity. And so we looked to the universal tonic of rave music. Are there any fans of the genre rave? A couple. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, I say yet because by the end of our piece, I'm pretty sure you're all going to be convertees. We found this video on YouTube which was amazing. I can't really do it justice. Just a rave. It was in Glasgow, 1992, in a place called the Plaza. The night was called Double Vision, and the song they're listening to is a song called Energy Rush by Suburban Decay, or it could be a song called Suburban Decay by a band called Energy Rush. Little is known about that period, but they're all having just an amazing time. They're just going for it. Anyway, we kind of thought we'd just pick a few people out of the crowd and talk about their dance moves. And just so you can get into the spirit, I'll try and play. Colin, do you want to be DJ? If this comes in too loud, a little choice quote from the YouTube: "Miss those nights, hair on the back of my neck, reaching for the sky, pink champagne." Champagne spelled wrong, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, just go for it. Pink champagne, Bart Simpson cocktail, come on. Okay, you go in front and hold the elevator doors. I'm going to come in fast from behind like you're a quarterback and I'm your shoulder pads. I'm going to test the force field in front of us, then slide back over your clavicle, zodding you inside this sheet of glass. Can you push your arms forward like nutcrackers, then swing them around to break up this fight I'm imagining between vibes and energy, while I jerk sway like CGI long grass. Traffic cops explode into flight of the navigator. Twin giraffes sex bob the burning red air.
My chain link armour is really trippy, like a load of 80s overtyped concrete poems, Charles Bernstein's Veils or something by Robert Grenier. Solve a riddle by talking to everyone really loud. Take some kind of poll about what a great place this is. It's freaking amazing here, isn't it? That's the question. So answer oui ou non. The fish by the entrance really queased up on grease and just dumped there wee shipwreck carcasses, wee spare pairs of shoes. Did you never drink a Cosmopolitan out of Cinderella's slipper, her slipper which fitted actually not all that terribly well, hence its fortuitous fall? I'm going to have to rush you now, there are queues and queues of people. Amazing freaking place this, oui ou non?
Mate, have you got Rush Sisters? Mate, have you got Complete by Rapid? Have you got Big Run by Angst? Mate, have you got Control by New Spirit? Mate, have you got Massive? Mate, have you got Massive? Mate, have you got I Got You? Have you got I Got You? Have you got a big goblet of sound like a king, mate? Hey, mate, have you stopped posh people riding trams in a dream? Hey, mate, every day is nice when you put a cat in a box. Hey, mate, have you got dynamite hair in a forest of yes, mate? Mate, I love Rome sunlight in the kitchen when you know we're together forever, mate. That chorus is a magic trick on an Afghan veranda. Come on, mate, I could kiss an X-ray technician under a foil sky. Who's with me? What? What? What do you want? No, you were just talking to me. You were talking to me, mate. Oh yeah. Me too, brother. Me too.
So Colin and I started writing something a long time ago about the Austrian painter Oskar Kokoschka, because we found out that he lived in Ullapool and he travelled all over northern Scotland and the islands too. So months and months ago, this shared interest, we started to exchange episodic poetic fragments that we imagined from Oskar Kokoschka's life. I quickly shut the window, sat down on the edge of the bed and thought, "Tu Felix Austria nuba." Now everything was falling apart, as when a family shares out the estate of a dying relative.
They used the supplest of phrases, tendering to each other, bartering and exchanging where necessary. Excessive enjoyment in female company was in part because almost all men of that generation had been directly responsible for the death of another, or so it felt. Bedroom conflict suddenly so benign it was okay to be a bit Wagnerian about things. Another central concern was that the ropey power supply wouldn't manage the extra demands for electrical current.
Feeling my way into this, I had arrived in the capital of the Scottish Empire, and inside with me and Ian about the number of Scots in service in India, and also at the watershed between past and future there as a new man. I went at once to a barber's shop near the station. He cut my hair, washed it, and put a helmet on me. At the same time, with the ready tongue of the Berlin, he talked me into buying pomade, toilet water, a brush, and a comb. When I finally escaped from his solicitous clutches, I was carrying a parcel the size of a vegetable.
Exchange is a compulsion, not a theme. Ullapool is a state of mind, so different to Vienna. The self is a compulsion, not a theme. Alma is a memory, not a place. But you're basically always there, basically always painting in this spooky little place, this echoing pool of ululation. Ullapool is a compulsion, and I felt it before I ever came here. I painted here before my feet set foot here, my brushes did, and once they did, they always would.
Oscar's pin holds the postcard from MacGillivray. Oscar of that whose nation is all connecting, water connecting neon. There can be no escape for us, Colin, no hope, nor home, nation, fame, no question add to every want, all arch, to put up text quick, live even, a mad whale, all-day whale work, uncaught, up they did of it, I'd think him, no her, they gulls have been warning. She comes, ovulating sea foam, creating new ones to crush him.
Kokoschka cries, the art of being loved, the trajectory of baroque palpitations. I have found inexpensive books on Kokoschka difficult to find, so put yourself in his shoes, clipped and gluey. Someone has a major crush on the word crush. On the palette, mixing your paint, crushing your own skull. How does Emil Nolde fit into this? Ernst Ludwig Kirchner? But back to me. I crush the metal petals of spitfires in paintings of sheep. I make them really woolly and stupid looking, really tragic.
Thank you, Colin. So Ross and I talked for a very long time about collaborating. Even for a time we thought about not, because we don't like each other very much, but then at the end we thought we will. And we'll do something different. We'll offer a gift to the people who are lucky enough to be in front of us.
We'll do our best.
And we thought, what should we do? Give people a break from poetry, actually to provide them with something that might be useful to them instead of poetry. We thought, well, what have we done? What have we achieved in our measly little lives? Very little, but we've both received funding from Creative Scotland for this trip, so we thought we could write some ideas up, and perhaps if some of you had ideas that you might want funded, we can use our minor expertise to somehow put into practice some advice that might get you that funding.
So what we'd like to sort of just ask you to do is, if anybody has an idea for some art, you can shout it out, and we will then workshop it together and kind of present to you a possible way of developing that art and returning it, you know, tennis-like to the general public.
A noun, a
Noun,
thing.
a
What
thing.
is art lacking?
What is the subject?
Anyone?
Hairs.
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 Beautiful.
Excellent.
Hairs.
Hairs.
There is not enough funding for hairs.
I believe there is a lack of funding
Plural.
for multiple hairs.
Ross will start a dedicated Facebook page for the Auld Enemies Hairs project, while I will man the Twitter account. We will fashion memes about hairs and post them relentlessly. We will update our moods and status with phrases like, "Is it just me, or does anyone else feel like hairs right now?" And I'm still getting over those hairs last night. It was so good, my knees hurt. We will then visit with cutting-edge information technology scientists in America and elsewhere to develop technology that will allow us to beam hairs directly into our brains.
Would anyone like to suggest a subject?
There must be something people need money for.
Puffins? Puffins?
Puffins. We will design a video game in which players must attempt to stop puffins. I'm not too sure that the Arts Council is going to bite this particular idea.
They might
Which
hate
players must attempt to stop puffins by travelling back through time and systematically murdering all key players associated with the promotion of puffins. This game would be presented on a Game Boy, duct taped to a puffin. Said puffin is then sent into schools, community centres, prisons, etc.
Beautiful. Last one from me. An idea, a noun, a thing. What are people here in Kirkwall inspired by? What do they need more of?
Berries.
Ferries. Beautiful. We will write a film script entitled Ferries. It will actually be about young street children in Rio learning about what it is to fall in love in a 21st century favela, but finishes with them painting a mural that says, ferries. At the end of the film, the boy or girl is killed tragically, blah, blah, blah.
One more from me, please. Subject for poetry. If you don't have a subject for poetry, maybe you can just tell me a disturbing dream you've had recently.
A word that came from the dream.
The word that came from the dream.
Shipwreck.
Handbag. Handbag shipwreck.
Handbag shipwreck.
We will recruit actors to talk about handbags and shipwrecks very quietly in public. The actors we prep to have different opinions on handbags and or shipwrecks, and to use a variety of regional accents to symbolise the diversity of the country. In order for the scene to have the greatest degree of verisimilitude, these actors will be mixed in with other actors talking about other subjects, non-handbag or shipwreck related. Standard equity rates. Some dogs will be trained to wander about nearby. Thanks. That's yours.
Now, Nikki and Colin.
This is lines taken from various fashion and clothing industry places. It's called Primark.
People make such a big deal about summer and winter looks, but they often forget about trans-seasonal wardrobes.
It is possible to sell t-shirts for as little as £2 without compromising ethics.
Always check out the rear view, and don't leave the house until you like what you see. Every angle matters. Trust us, it only takes a mirror.
It's an absolute outrage for anyone to suggest otherwise. Cheap t-shirts by candlelight.
The t-shirt knotted at the front is a great move.
Sewing tiny beads and sequins onto children as young as 11.
Crying out to be accessorised with a tub of frozen yogurt or a designer cleansing juice.
Children working at home, waist deep in Primark clothes, embroidering dresses, fab and fabric.
That is how to pull off lurid fuchsia.
The young girls who were doing the sewing, degrading sweatshop conditions, looked very clean and well dressed, being paid just 60 pence a day to work in a refugee camp. 7 pence an hour keeps her here and Primark in profit. The electricity in the camp is poor. At night work by candle. This 9-year-old boy, the beads are very small.
Now in jewel-like tones or pumped-up supercharged fondant shades, think Mr. Kipling's for a truly killer summer style.
Sew collars, 1 a minute. Sleeves, 2 per minute. Iron 50 shirts an hour.
Show skin strategically.
I love Primark clothes. If I now stop buying them, will I feel very guilty? Those lovely kids will go hungry and starve, be forced into a horrible way of life, prostitution, scouring rubbish dumps for food come to mind. I wonder if they get a staff discount on the dresses.
Nothing quite beats a simple broderie anglaise white cotton summer dress paired with red-hot nails and smoking sunglasses.
Nick Clegg said he did not shop with a moral calculator.
A repeat offender where chic summer dressing is concerned.
I think cheap fashion's great. It doesn't really affect me whether it's been made by a 3-year-old or a 50-year-old. Wear it once and chuck it away.
This poem's called Nicholas and Maureen.
Nicky, make the most of your trip to Aberdeen. Hi Nicky, your stay at Holiday Inn Express Aberdeen City Centre is less than a week away. We put together some useful tips and tricks to make the most of your stay. It's time to get excited about your trip to Aberdeen. Here are some recommended attractions just for you. The results are in. You made a great choice. We collected insider advice to help you on your trip. Plan your journey door to door. Happy travelling, 1L, LOL.
Hey Nicholas, my name is Maureen. I'm the Maharaja at the Holistic Inn in Aberdeen. What seems to be the barrier of your consuming Cossington is condoning complaint? Is it because you get your fill full with local seabirds? The oil and the grape, the Ferndale granola, the Stuart Jerry's is so near they north that you might die anyways. I'd fool it, this forum, all will be well, and I'll come and I'll see you later.
Hi Maureen, I liked your email, thanks. Where are you? I'm nearby. Can we meet? I have something to show you. In Rio.
Slung over your best tiddly rota to Mar, then Mar, my friend.
Okie doke. A new dawn for Lotto. A new dawn. Kiss.
So that's the last one I had.
Okie doke.
Joey Coke,
Doke doke.
Billy Smoke,
Dokie doke doke.
Knocky Suey Green,
A high of 14 for Lerwick. Cloud could be white.
Warm in the Heart, Snaffy Locals, Brazil 1, Germany 7.
Whose bright idea was this?
This poem's called Enemy Etymology.
An etymology.
Ant-Man Biology.
Not friend, related to love.
Unfriend, Happy Schloss.
Enemy, adversary, foe, demon, the devil.
Coming up from the boardwalk,
Personal enemy in war.
a so sissified target, Ed Harris.
Russian mystery.
Mystery. They love to be stamped on.
Source of Old Norse.
What happened inside the Gugunga Gap?
Outlaw. Hence wolf.
The chap who faced the Megadog at the start.
Probably the inspiration for warg.
An X-Files childhood.
A kind of large ferocious wolf.
A carpet walking.
Guest. Stranger. Enemy.
Home. Manor. Mamma.
As strangers are potential enemies,
An inquiry into friend shop
as well as guests.
and paying
The word is a forked path.
that leads grass up nout. Cheers.
This is me and Ross. This is lines taken from the white paper that Alex Salmon put out about whatever you call it. And I looked up all the words free or freedom and the whole thing and just took a phrase using either of those words. It's called Brave Hearts and Minds. Free of charge.
Our tradition of free education.
Protect free university.
Principles of free education.
Continue to have free access.
Right to live free of discrimination.
Free personal care for the elderly.
And restored free education.
Free personal care for the elderly.
Free personal care and decent pensions.
People and free.
Free personal care.
Free prescriptions.
Free higher education.
Free concessionary travel.
Support existing tax-free.
Scotland will be free.
Free at the point of need.
Free personal and nursing care.
To support tax-free savings.
It will also free up money.
Such as free school meals.
Freedom to invest in housing supply.
A free, truly public service.
Delivering free personal care.
Introduce free personal care.
An introduction of free eye
This
test.
government will protect free,
Will give Scotland the powers to free children.
free university tuition.
Restore free access.
Our priorities for action.
Free.
To have free access.
Free education for those able to benefit.
With the principles of free movement.
Which could undermine prosperity, well-being and freedom.
Protecting free education.
Including fisheries, agriculture, research and creativity and freedom.
With free movement of
A
goods.
partnership approach to freedom.
The free movement of nationals.
Fundamental freedoms.
Spending will also free up valuable resources.
Our fundamental rights and freedoms.
To privacy and to freedom of expression.
As Scots are free now.
Disease free.
Nuclear free.
Scotland will be free to design a new means of funding.
Giving creative freedom.
And entitlement to live free.
The rights and freedoms of everyone.
Freedom of information.
Free up the central belt.
Allowing free and safe movement of aircraft.
Ensuring the free movement of goods.
Free movement movement of labour.
Carefree.
Free prescriptions.
Things like free prescriptions.
Carefree.
This includes free.
What will happen to
The
free,
successful policy of free.
including free?
Travel free.
Would they be free?
Free to choose.
The principles of free.
Status free.
Free movement across the border.
Currently allows freedom.
Scotland citizens enjoy
Freedom. Freedom of movement
will ensure free movement
related to free view.
and free state.
Services that are currently free.
Entry is free to core.
A fair trial and freedom. Freedoms
of everyone.
life for freedom.
As free personal care
That government restored free
and introduce free
rights and
freedom.
Thank you very much for coming. It was lovely to share some of my work with you and also to be alongside poets from the Orkney Islands. Really kind of you to make it such a nice evening closing out the tour for us. Thanks. Good night.